Now that that workout is done, I think it's a good time to go over my goals for the race coming up in 6 days, and also just a little bit of a broader overview of how training has been going over the last month or two. I got a 10-minute rep and an 8-minute rep and a 6-minute rep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Love you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you. Just finished up the workout. It was definitely harder than I was hoping for it to be. Not really a disaster. I didn't run. I probably ran on the slower end of pace on the floats, and I didn't progress the reps the way that I wanted to. I was hoping to pick up the pace really as the reps got shorter. I did that a little bit, but yeah, it was kind of tough to go much faster than about half marathon pace. But it's all good. First rep done, felt okay. It's still just like, no matter how used to it I get, half marathon pace is still pretty hard, especially on road. It's like not super hilly, but definitely like not flat. So yeah, I got a 10-minute float now, so should have plenty of time to feel better for the next one. I haven't seen any of the data yet, so I'll check it out when I get back to my place after I do about a 2-mile cool down to get home. Yeah, I'm gonna go do my cool down. Very hot, very sweaty. But overall, solid workout. See you later. Good morning, everybody. Fast forward a little bit from the last workout, exactly a week. We are now 6 days out from race day. Got my second to last workout of the training block today, and I'm doing it at the track, not too hard. I've got 2 sets of mile, 1200, 800, all at half marathon pace with 400 jog. Solid amount of rest for that at half marathon pace, so hopefully it should feel really good. It's beautiful out. It's a little windy, but very happy to be on the track for this one. We are about, I don't know, halfway through the taper-ish, something like that. The half marathon's a little bit different to the marathon in that it's not necessarily as long of a drawn out taper for me right now because I never pushed my mileage too much. I think my peak mileage during this whole training block was only about 74, 75 miles. My legs have been fatigued, obviously, during hard training, but not to the extent of running 80, 90, 100 mile weeks. I did my last sort of bigger hard workout on Wednesday of this past week, and then I guess the official start of the taper kind of happened right after that. Doing all these reps in lane 7, using the COROS track mode. I've talked about this before. If you're doing long reps on the track, this is a game changer. You can get accurate GPS data from any lane. When I'm doing mile repeats, 2-mile repeats, it stops at the exact same place every single time, and I can trust that I don't need to go wheel out and mark a place in lane 7 or lane 8. Shout out COROS. If you guys are in need of a new GPS watch, use my code CTEETER for a free watch band with any watch purchase and help support the channel. Time to start the workout, lane 7. 1 mile to start, half marathon pace. Let's do it. When I was getting ready for CIM, I felt kind of absolutely horrible right at the start of the taper because your body gets used to training hard and all the endorphins that come with that stimulus, and right when you start to let up, oftentimes it can be like, oh my gosh, finally it's time for a break, and everything shuts down. You feel sick, you feel really tired. I had a bit of that on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday of this past week. I was absolutely cooked, but today, now that it's Sunday, I'm feeling pretty good again. Good first rep, 4:49 miles, so a little bit fast, but feeling very good. Trust the taper. Similar to last week, we're in the On Cloud Boom Strike today. This is the pair that I have done more training in. The last workout last Sunday, I had a new pair that I was sort of getting ready for race day. I like to break them in, but I do like to race in a fresher pair of shoes. If this colorway is unfamiliar to you, that's because it's unreleased. I had these sent to me by D3 Glory Days. Shout out for the support. First set done. Felt really good. Still a little bit fast. I ran like 3:37 and then 2:23, 2:24 for the 8. So gonna switch directions for this last set, but very nice. This is like exactly what I was hoping for from a taper workout. Just run right at half marathon effort, practice feeling as easy as possible. So good stuff. I spent a lot of time in my CIM training block training in the A6 Metaspeed Edge, and I've talked about a lot on this channel how I'm a big believer in like getting used to the rhythm of your race day shoes going into race day, and switching and training in the On Cloud Boom Strike. At first I really did not like them because they were very different than the A6 I've been running in. But since I've put more training in them and gotten used to the stride, I've really started to enjoy them. I've got a pretty sweet race kit that I will be debuting either in this video or the next video when I do the whole race vlog recap, or if you just follow me on STRAVA or on my Instagram, it'll probably be on there this week. But yeah, this is amazing. Sunday morning, sunny day, blue track. Can't really ask for too much more, to be honest. Sorry for the ridiculous lighting. It is super bright outside. Now that that workout is done, I think it's a good time to go over my goals for the race coming up in 6 days, and also just a little bit of a broader overview of how training has been going over the last month or two, because I haven't been able to post as much as I was expecting to during this build-up. Half marathon training has definitely been a lot harder for me compared to marathon training. That's mainly due to the fact that the longer distance type of workouts are workouts that really suit my strengths. And so I've been having to put myself in a lot more uncomfortable situations than I'm used to, which was the entire purpose of training for and doing this half marathon in the first place. So that's a good thing. In those marathon style workouts, I feel like you always have at least the first few miles where you feel really good. Marathon pace is supposed to feel really good. Obviously, you're supposed to be able to do it for 26 miles. But because half marathon pace is sort of riding the line of that hour-long anaerobic threshold, I've definitely had some workouts going in on tired legs where the first mile of those workouts, even right from the get-go, doesn't feel that great. So it's been really good practice working through those uncomfortable situations and figuring out sort of where that red line is. I've had some really good specific workouts. I've had a couple key sessions that I did need to adjust a little bit. That kind of leads me into my race plan and then goals. I guess the easiest way to do this is to put my goals out there first and then go over how I plan to achieve that. I set out on this training block with the goal of breaking 64 minutes for the full half marathon, and that is still gonna be my A goal. My training has been going well enough to indicate that that is definitely within my fitness range. I'm really hoping I can get in a good pace group. Looking 6 days out, the weather looks like it's gonna be awesome in the mid to high 50s. I will be completely honest and say that I don't have the same absurdly high confidence that I did have about breaking 220 at CIM. And that's mainly due to the fact that the half marathon is riding that line a little bit more and a little bit earlier than the race when compared to the marathon. I am gonna have to be very dialed in on, the difference between running 450 pace and 455 pace, for example, depending on how I'm feeling. So gonna go into this race and try to be very dialed about how I'm feeling and try to use absolutely as little energy as possible through the first 10K, 15K, try to find a group and just shut my brain off. That's worked really well for me in the past. My B goal, if I had to put a time out there, is gonna be sub 65 minutes. This training block has all been a stepping stone in training for an attempt at the Olympic Trials Marathon Qualifier later this year or early next year. So there's a lot more success that I can take from this race, even if I'm slightly below my A goal. And then of course, my C goal for the race is to keep my mind in it when it gets hard. I know that it is inevitably gonna be really, really tough, and that I'm gonna have to focus really hard on holding good form and keeping my mind in the game and not giving up in the last somewhere between 3 and 6 miles. So my biggest goal for the race is to not give up on myself and give myself a chance when it gets really hard and I have to fight. I may have mentioned this earlier or not, but I am gonna be repping a kit from On and D3 Glory Days. If you guys haven't heard the podcast episode that either is about to come out or just dropped on D3 Glory Days, I did about a 45-minute podcast with them talking about my collegiate career, my transition into the roads after college, this YouTube channel, whole bunch of stuff about life and running. So please go check that out. It's really awesome that D3 Glory Days is investing in us alumni who are still trying to train really hard and improve after college. So huge shout out to them for the support for this race. And also huge shout out to you guys and everybody watching. Wish me luck for this race. It's gonna be a good one. I'll come out with a video recapping the entire weekend and even more about how the race went, the data going into it, the data from the race, everything moving forward. And of course, after that, we'll start getting into the huge discussion of getting out there and going and qualifying for the 2028 Olympic trials. With all that out of the way, thank you everybody for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.